What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third Person. My name is Chris, and that's Mike, and we are Third Person.
Yes, we are. Chris, we're back.
We're back.
We're two people with a third person. Is that what you're going to say? Three people?
Yeah, I don't know what I was going to say.
We get that a lot. But anyway, dude, fucking
Walking Dead Season 8 mid-season premiere, man.
Yes, we did it. I know from the beginning you didn't really enjoy. I myself also, but we really haven't been enjoying Walking Dead as much as the past. And obviously, if you guys watched our rewatch of the classic Walking Dead episodes, you'll know how much we enjoyed them. But anyway, I enjoyed this. I was fucking so stoked that
you watched it 8 times.
I watched it, yes, 8 times. But it's like, you know what it is in a nutshell? It's I haven't had that build up, that Sunday night Walking Dead.
Yeah. I hear you. I felt the same thing. I was like, it's Walking Dead night, and I haven't said that in a while.
Right. And I know that you didn't enjoy 8A so much, and I think I kind of enjoyed it maybe a little bit more than you do, but I really don't think I've enjoyed a premiere like this in a long time. This episode was
let's get into it, because I'm all right. So I'm not as enthusiastic about it as you.
Yeah.
After watching it, to say that I did enjoy it. One thing I did enjoy, I'll just get this right out of the way, is that I don't like this formula that this show does, where it's in one episode we go here, we come back, we go there, we go there. I'm kind of over that. I don't like it. It's especially in this set. Sometimes it's fine depending on the storyline and the arc that we're in, but this. You're going from Carl to Morgan, and they're both very good. And so I found myself in the Morgan arc, in the Morgan part, going, like, oh, yeah, okay. And then it cuts. I'm like, damn it. It takes me out. Then I'm in the Carl stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then it cuts, and it takes me out. And I'm like, you stop. Because it was really pissing me off. Like, I actually was like, I feel like just recutting the episode myself, putting all the Morgan stuff in one part, and then just watching it that way. Because, man, I'm telling you, it was just, it's annoying. I'm sorry, Mike, it did not help the episode at all.
Well, I mean, I can kind of agree with you in a couple in what you're saying, because I did feel like by the end of the episode, it's like, Carl die almost. It's, how many times am I going to say goodbye? There was a lot of scenes back and forth to where Carl's
he's saying,
I'm sorry, like, Dad, I love you, kind of a thing. So I did kind of get that, especially after watching it, a couple times. You kind of catch it more after watching it. So if you felt that way, I can imagine how you'd feel after watching it a few more times. You're probably like, holy shit.
Yeah.
There were some ideas. There's a reason why they did that, especially with the Morgan stuff and the killing of Morgan. What should Morgan do, kind of a thing, and what Carl is saying. It was kind of opposites, because Carl's saying now, hey, Dad, the farmer Rick kind of thing was actually a good idea, and we need to look for that. We need to look.
You need to go back to that. I want that for you.
Exactly. Right, we need to build up. We need to build up civilization, and we're getting that crazy Morgan on the opposite part of that. So at first, let me ask you this, because I think we'll kind of do the kingdom stuff first, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's do it.
How about at the end when the guy, I think it was Gavin, right? That's the last.
Gavin.
Right?
Hate that guy.
He's the last one. And tell me you didn't think that he was going to get away, and they were going to pull one of those, we can't kill him.
Well, that was the thing. That was what pissed me off.
After we just killed every other savior there was.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off. They let him get away. Morgan does that cool thing where, he's fighting for his life and he pulls the guy's guts out. That was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Greg Nicotero, man, he just shines. That's his bread and butter, man. He shines with that stuff. And then they let him get away. Ezekiel lets him why are you staring at him? You had a tiger.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, why are you staring at him ripping out you've seen your entire crew mowed down in front of you, and you're staring at that like you've never seen it before, and then they let it get, and I'm like, I felt the same way. I'm like, but it did lead to Stalker Morgan.
Yes, which was very cool.
And you know what? It was almost not enough, but it was. Like they didn't drag that out either, you know. Like it
Yeah,
was
no,
like a
I'm
couple
glad.
shots in the, you know.
There was the shot when he was looking, when you can see his shadow through the door, and
Well,
the guy was
before
shooting
that
his
was when
pants, and
he's dragging
yeah,
the
he's
pole through the
dragging
sand. Like that was great.
the
That was
boat.
some
No,
good stuff. I want more of that stuff.
I agree. There was some cool
You
shots, and
know.
obviously Nicotero directed the episode, so it was. I mean, he always does. He's very creative when it comes to shots and scene shots and stuff like that. But let me ask you this. Now, obviously, you knew Henry was going to do that final blow, right?
Yeah, you knew who's hopping up, right? I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
You saw it
Yeah.
come through the opposite way in his throat, Gavin's throat, and you're like, "Oh, that's Henry."
Yep, that's Henry. He needed he wouldn't be there for no
Right.
reason, and obviously that was the reason he was.
So that was your question to me?
He came to Kingdom. No. The question is that did you just think that they were just going to let this guy go again? You know
No,
what
I mean I was afraid they were, but they did. But
because
I'm
they do
glad
that
they
so
killed
much.
him.
It's like, let's kill 30, like with the satellite tower, all the saviors that are at Hilltop. The same thing. They killed through so many guys. Oh, now let's save these 20 guys, whatever it is. So at first I thought that they were going to pull one of those again with Gavin, but obviously Henry
you know
takes
what?
him out.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see what they're doing with Morgan, right? You know where this is all headed, right?
I mean,
why they're doing. Morgan has been slowly. No, I'm sorry. I'll take that back. He hasn't been slowly losing his mind. He's been overtly, forefront losing his mind in these past episodes, from the satellite episode, from the, from before. Man, they're obviously he's going to end up
he's going to leave or something.
He's
right?
going to say, "I can't be with you people anymore."
I know,
and he's going to end up on fear. That's what's pushing him to fear.
And that's disappointing.
That's what's gonna make his character go to fear.
I would rather him go out with a blaze of glory. And we did a video about this. We all, both of us thought. I mean, it still can happen, but after his little vid message on Talking Dead, we both got that impression. Like I said, we did a video about it. That he was. It looked like he was going to get killed. I mean, he still can, but with the footage and these videos that are coming out about fear.
No, you heard that, because it's supposed to be like
they're going to do a time jump, and they're going to get to the same time that Rick and everybody are at in Walking Dead, which I think is kind of lame. But,
see, I don't. I actually would like that, because I'm tired of where they are in fear. Yeah. I'm tired of what they're doing. It's boring.
I mean, but now, so what do you think is going to happen with him? And let's not. I mean, we don't have to go crazy. This is actually even a good idea for another vid. But what will happen with Morgan? Where do you think he's going to be like? Why would you want to leave such? I think
he's once again having a crisis of conscience, and he's going to see that killing isn't the way again. I think he's going to go back to that, and he's going to leave the group. So, having said all that,
hey, whatever.
Ezekiel, just a couple things about Ezekiel. I really like, Carrie Payton does that so well. He didn't get a whole lot of stuff this episode, but he did have that one line where he says it's never too late to turn back on the decision, or whatever the line was. I think I butchered that line, but it's essentially, basically you can, turn your decision around. You can walk away from the decision you made. I'm sorry. I should have researched this, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was a great line. He repeats it twice to Gavin. Screw Gavin, man. I'm so happy he's dead.
Yeah.
So happy he's dead. All right. Well, look, let's move forward. Let's go to the other half of this thing, which is Carl's death. We spoke briefly about it. Mike, Mike said that, they did drag it out. I agree. They had this scene, then that scene. I mean, but you know what what sucked is that a lot of people just up and left. Like, I mean, I know time was an issue, but they were just like, what's her name? I was gonna call her Alana because that's her real name. Tara. Tara was just like, meh. What Daryl said was cool. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Daryl stepping up for his, for Rick and taking the kid and Judith and I was just waiting to see them drag Carl through the town, and
I would have liked to have seen a little bit more interaction with the rest of the guys there. I mean, obviously we got a little, like you said, we got the couple the back and forth people, Yeah, with Daryl and saying, "Hey, dude, you saved all these people down here." Blah blah blah. I mean, Tara kind of does that little, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like gunshot kind of a look, like good job, buddy. But yeah, I mean, listen, it was basically who do we want to see? We wanted to
Like
see
give more time, right? Yeah.
yeah, but in the end, we got the cool stuff with Rick, and we got the mom vibe 1,000% with Michonne being there and not leaving when Rick says take Judith and stuff like that. So, um, it was a good performance out of Chandler Riggs. I mean, obviously his dialogue wasn't anything, it was, I love you dads kind of thing, but he did have some cool dialogue and stuff like that, and the back and forth with Rick and Michonne and everything. It was cool. It was bittersweet, but overall, a great episode for me. And
Yeah,
what would you think?
the whole I mean, again, it's really sad, and
Hmm.
you don't want to see it happen,
Hmm. Hmm.
and in the comic, obviously I always bring up the comic, but Carl's becoming something. It's interesting because there's a dichotomy between the comic and the show. Obviously they've gone to different, they're heading in the same direction on different paths, is the way I think of it. And
Okay.
Carl obviously is still alive in the comic, but what happened here is this kind of, he tells, so he touches on it in the show, and I think that's what they're doing in the comic, is that Rick is telling Carl that everything he's done has been for Judith and for him. Now I have a remind me if I don't go back to this, but I have a quick thought on that. But he tells them that, like a separate thought than what I'm saying. He says, it's for you, this is for you, this is for you. This is, I want, something better for you, this and that. In the comic, it's, he's doing this for them. And in the comic, I think, that they can, Rick is doing it, is setting Carl up to take over.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like right now in the comic, Carl's like leading 100 men. No, that's not what's happening in the comic. But what Carl is in the comic, what he's becoming in the comic,
Yeah.
and their relationship, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
going back, just that note about Rick, it's funny because he's like, I've done it all this for you and Judith, and I'm like, yeah, you spent a lot of time away from them. How can you? I mean, yes, I'm sure in your own mind, this is why you're doing it, but you never really vocalized that. So it's like, and now you're saying that, like, it was a little off-putting to me. Like, sorry, writers, you kind of missed a little something there, and maybe it was in the editing, maybe they cut out some extra dialogue. I don't know, but do you know what I'm saying though?
I mean, I guess I didn't really notice it that way because obviously, regardless if Rick said it or
I mean,
not,
yeah, we know it's true,
we
but
know he thought of his children. I mean, listen, we can go back to the classics. We can go back when he goes after Merle, when Rick leaves after just finding his family, he
Right.
leaves.
Right.
Is that doing that for his family?
Well,
In
that's
end,
the thing.
yes,
Yeah, he
kind of,
just
because
can't help himself. Right.
so there are circumstances,
Right.
and throughout the seasons that Rick does that, but I don't think it's that. Listen, I think we all know how much he cares about his family. Let's see what happens now, since Judith is the only Grimes left. I still believe she's a Grimes and not a
Well,
Walsh.
she essentially is now.
But it was just cool to see about Carl, that he was at peace from the beginning. When we see him looking in the mirror in the bathroom, and he looks at the wound and he changes it himself, there wasn't a pity, there wasn't sorrow, there wasn't crying or sadness really out of him. What did he do? He picked right up. He got the note. He saw the note from who's the other survivor guy? No. Well, he got the note from Michonne, but who's the guy that gave it to him again? What was his name? Whatever, it doesn't matter. So he gets this idea. Hey, that's a good idea. Let me
write my own
goodbyes
goodbyes
to the people, and he does the finger painting with Judith, so they'll always have that there. He takes the selfie with him, so it was cool to see that, and that was a good turn on how. Listen, they could have went several different ways with Carl and how he was going to react to his demise, but it was a stand-up thing. It was an honorable thing. I guess that's why the episode is named what it is. But I just thought that was cool. I just thought that listen, it could have been a pity party, and it didn't happen that way. So
for him anyway. Yeah.
For Carl, yes.
So
for
all right.
Carl.
So let's.
Carl.
So you and I had a little bit of a heated discussion off camera about the flash
The
forward,
vision.
the
Yes,
vision.
yeah.
Okay. So you're of the stance that it's been Carl's vision
Yes,
for the
yes.
future, for his dad, for his
It's
family,
his hopes.
for
It's
right.
not necessarily like listen, for everybody that watches this show knows that we first started getting glimpses of the old man Rick stuff, they called it.
Old man
So
Rick
now
stuff. Let's just call it that. Yeah.
yeah, so everybody really, they gave you that impression that it was Rick's vision, that it was what may happen, like almost like a prediction thing, like a psychic kind of thing. Obviously in this episode, we see something different. Now, what I feel and what you feel are two different things. We can get into that, but I myself, I don't think of it as how I thought it was originally with Rick. I didn't think it's Carl laying there and Carl had this dream or this kind of prediction or this vision kind of thing. I just think that it was the way the show portrayed Carl's hopes and his hope for the future, and that because Carl's saying all this stuff, like I see Alexandria being built and new buildings being built, and that's what was happening in this
Right.
scene.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel that there's obviously no other way but this being Carl's hope for the future, and seeing I said about the Negan thing, which was one of the big parts of it, and it's obviously at the end of it. Do I think that that's Carl hopes Negan will join one of the groups, our group? No, I just think that it shows Negan as that villain that has done some heinous stuff, that he actually feels, Carl, that people can be
They can get
redeemed.
past it, right?
And Eugene is there and all this kind of stuff. So everything that Carl was saying in his monologue and his dialogue was being shown to us. So I think there's no other way about it, that's just his hope, his blueprint,
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean,
what he wants Rick to build that.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, this is what I want for you. And the thing is, that so I agree with everything you just said. Okay, because you did change your wording a little bit to me now. Because previously it was like, here's the thing. Number one, I never thought that what we were seeing, the old man Rick stuff, was anybody's anything. To me, we were just seeing a possible future. That's what I thought. Yeah. I never thought it was Rick. I never thought it was Michelle. I never thought it was anything. And then seeing this, I didn't think that it was Carl. A lot of people think at this point that the whole time we were seeing Carl's imagination. But what you said is more.
It is his imagination,
right? But what I'm saying is the actual video isn't what that is. Isn't specifically the stuff that Carl thought of. It's like you said. It's
taking Carl's
it's the idea. It's Carl's world.
Yeah,
that he's built for his family in his head. And when people are like, well, no, it's Carl's imagination. No, it is. Carl has no idea. It's just showing. Like Carl had no idea that Eugene would even be back or if he's alive. Has no idea.
No.
What it's doing is showing that this is
what
he wants. He's saying, hey, and it's funny because then I saw Negan and I'm thinking, oh, wait, what? And again, if you read the comic, it ends up happening. But, we're not going to go into the spoiler, whatever. But the thing is that is just, again, showing that that's the type of world that can happen. Yeah. Is that old man Rick stuff going to come to fruition? I think so, but not like that. We're not going to see a garden scene. We're not going to see a Eugene scene. That's not what's going to happen. We will see something like that. But hold on. The reason it's in that fuzzy hazy thing is because that's not the future. That's a possible future.
Oh no, I mean I agree. I never thought that. Yeah, I never thought that the old man Rick stuff was a definite. I think the biggest thing that got me.
I think it's a definite, but I don't think that's the definite. Like that's the way it's going to play out. Yeah.
Yes, I didn't think it was that it would happen that exact way. The biggest thing that intrigued me was the limp in
Right.
Rick's leg.
So there's
So
the
that was
yeah.
the big reason. But now obviously it's um I understand what you're saying. I never thought that it was a vision that Carl was having, like a psychic kind of
Right.
a
Yeah.
thing. But yes, they took Carl's words of the hopes for the future and showed them to us
Right. Well, they have been. Well, they basically put a like
visually.
they put a
Yes,
name to the face. Basically, is
yeah.
essentially the
But
concept, right?
it was it was very interesting, and let's see how much of that. I have a couple questions about that, but one thing for you is we saw Eugene, we saw Negan. Do you think that these people can be redeemed
Yeah,
and
I think.
possibly have that happen
Well,
where
I
Negan
think again,
growing
I'm
tomatoes, picking tomatoes, and
yeah. I mean, look, I'm very biased because of the comic,
Mhm.
so I'm
well, without thinking about the comics,
right. So what?
just
No, but what I'm
on the
saying is
show.
yes, yeah, yeah. Of course they can. Of course, especially after Carl dies. Rick's gonna Although then you get the preview for the next episode where he's like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you." You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know how much of is if he's there yet, but can
Mhm.
people be redeemed? They're gonna have to
Well, an
because
overtime thing, it could happen
they're
over
gonna
such and
have to
such amount
survive,
of
man. Look,
time and
they gotta
episodes.
they gotta survive.
Possibly.
It's you
Yeah.
gotta remember this is humanity against the dead. Like this is
Mhm.
at some point, that's gonna have to come to fruition, and
Yeah.
that's what the time jump happens. That's what they're doing, and that's when the sanctuary becomes part of the group, and it is, yeah. It's people can definitely be. I mean,
Yeah. All right. All
so
right.
go ahead. You had another question for me?
I have. Well, I told you about the Siddiq stuff. Now,
Oh yeah. So
obviously, yeah. So Siddiq is in the tunnels at first when we see him, and he's saying that I'm going to honor you, and we're going to honor our mothers, and all this
right.
kind of
Yeah.
cool stuff. But with that, without we only saw a little bit of him, but he did say a few words that I thought were very, very interesting. Probably some of the most interesting stuff of the whole episode from anybody, and that was the fact that he offered Carl like a anti-inflammatory or these pills.
It's
This,
ibuprofen. It was basically
yeah.
ibuprofen.
So basically, he says that it worked with my mother and father, that it kind of helps with the fever and stuff like that. I thought that was really, really interesting because if it gave Carl an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something, it's actually helping suppress what Carl's feeling and possibly suppressing the virus that's attacking him. I thought that was really cool. I thought they did it just a subtle way to give you an idea that there may be something in the future that can cure a bite like Carl has or something like that. Or if I get a bite on my arm, instead of chopping my arm off now, we know that works with Herschel with his leg and stuff like that. So is there something, instead of me having to do that, if I give you such and such, will it cure you? And I just thought that was really interesting. What do you think about that? And do you think that I would think it would probably be some kind of natural remedy eventually that they find or something, because we don't know who's out there still making pharmaceutical drugs that would be able to make a cure like this. But I just thought that was really interesting. What do you think?
All right.
Like,
So
what do you think about
yeah.
that?
Okay. So there's a lot to unpack here. One, I don't mean to burst your bubble,
Yeah.
but that was just over the counter drugs. There wasn't anything special. He didn't
I know.
concoct anything. It was ibuprofen.
I know.
And he said he basically it's a fever reducer. That's all it is. And all it does is by pulling down someone's fever, it helps them become a little more conscious, a little more cognitive. It's just a fever reducer, man. There's nothing special about it. He said it. I mean, you watch it more than I have at this point. You've seen it more than once.
He just
But
said
he
it'll
grabbed
help
it's
with
over
the
the counter.
fever.
No. But go back to before he said that. It's over the counter stuff. He said he just grabbed stuff. It's not so. No, I'm saying no. There's not. That is not the cure. That is not going to be. Now, can there
Well,
be?
I'm not
Right,
saying
but no.
that's the cure.
No. But you're saying, can there be a cure?
Something that can
Right.
actually
Have
cure the
you
bite.
forgotten that it's already in all of them all the time?
Yes,
So
but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm
no.
talking about that
But
if
no.
you
Let me
do
let me
get bit.
no. Let me tell you. It doesn't matter because it's in you. It's not like they contract the disease after being bit. That being bit just it's like, plugging a plug into a socket. It's like connecting, it's completing a connection. It's completing the current where it makes it happen faster.
Well, it activates this virus that's in
Actually,
you
no,
once you
you know
get
what? I'm
bit.
wrong. That virus, okay, the bite
If that was a dog bite, you're
kills
not
you.
going to die.
The bite
But because
kills
it's a
you. Well,
zombie
basically, it's rabies, dude. Rabies. If there was a stronger strain of rabies, we die from it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I agree. And
look what's happening in the world now with the flu. The flu is killing people, and it's
Yeah.
the flu. It's something that we've had for the longest time that we've been able to. It's I'm just the flu. You're out of school or work for a week or so when it gets.
Yeah.
No, it's killing people right now. The point is that the bite kills you, but you're always gonna turn regardless.
No, I understand
Now,
what you're saying.
so what I'm
I
saying
understand.
is you're saying, is there something that can prevent the bite from killing you? That's what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you can take whatever and now
No. I know.
if you
I'm saying
die
you're
naturally,
saying that you're
you'll
excited from the prospect of possibly having
there was something that suppressed it, regardless of if it's just the
but let me ask you
fever.
though. You're saying suppress, but suppress what though?
It suppresses this fever, this virus that's taking over him. So it gives him a little bit more time. Really, it
But
gives him
okay,
a
but
little
that's
bit.
just the over the counter stuff.
But
But what you're wanting is something that you want something stronger. You want an actual
yeah,
anecdote.
you're missing the point.
And an
You're missing.
antidote. I said
Yeah,
anecdote. What you want
you're
is a
missing
story about the virus.
No, you're missing the point. The point is, I know that this over the counter. I don't care about if it's prescribed or if it's over the counter or not. That has nothing to do with my point. My
What?
point is there something, and in this case, it is just these ibuprofen or whatever the fuck it is, right? But it did help against this deadly virus. Okay, if it gives Carl 5 minutes, if it gives Carl 10 minutes, fine. But it
Right.
helps relieve a little bit. It helps suppress a
Right,
little
yeah.
bit. Okay, I'm not saying that is the cure to this.
No, I know
what
that.
I'm saying is, if there is this little over-the-counter pill or this Tylenol, whatever the fuck it is,
Could there be something?
there could be
Yeah.
something. It gives you that idea. No one has ever said, "Oh, give him something," or give him, inject him with this. He just got bit, or even if it didn't work in the past seasons. It's the first time where we really heard something from a character that
Right,
says,
yeah.
"Take this," and it helps.
It helps
Okay?
something.
We
yeah.
know it's not going to cure. Number two is Siddiq is a resident doctor,
Yeah.
so that gives you. He has that clout. He has that.
Well, they're commodity.
You know what
look
I mean?
look what they were doing
So,
at the sanctuary.
But he says, yes, he says it helped my parents. It helps, and it'll help your son a little bit. So, like I said, it just gives you that impression that there is a potential out there. That's all I'm saying.
See, but I don't like that potential because then it kind of just ruins it. Like, because then where's the number one? You're having no show anymore if there's a cure, because it's.
I'm not no,
You know
but
what I'm saying?
again, bro. I'm not talking about curing you if you drop dead right here and you come back. I'm not saying you're curing.
No.
I'm
You're
saying
saying you're
just-
saying
just
something
from a
that's gonna.
bite or
Mike, I know
something.
what you're. Mike, yeah, I get it, man. I
So yes,
yeah.
I don't, what it
But
is.
I'm reacting to that, meaning I think something like that would not be good for the show. I think it's the concept is cool, but it's like, but now, oh yeah, we can fight. Oh, just give him this thing, and it'll suppress the virus, and he won't be as sick.
I don't know. I mean,
like
I
it's like
understand what you're saying from like now. If they would have that now, like in this exact moment, I think it would be maybe odd. But who
look.
knows?
I
how
wanted to
long-
see them. Let's just
Right?
get Alexandria rebuilt. I want to see what's going. I want that to happen.
Oh, I
Nobody is equipped to have any of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know, and I believe me, I agree with you. It would be odd if all of a sudden Siddiq had some kind of thing where Carl's dying, and now he says, "Oh, take this! I found this natural remedy from fucking mushrooms and
Right. Yeah.
you know what I mean? A bark from a fucking tree or something. You know what I mean? So I think that would be strange. But
Nobody,
let's see
what's
how
funny is that nobody. The thing is, nobody is looking for a cure. Like they're just trying to
they're
survive.
trying to
So,
just
so
survive.
the only way any type of anything that you're anything that even resembles what you're talking about
Mhm.
would only happen after
Oh, yeah.
the town is
Yeah.
rebuilt and they're in that
Oh,
peacetime.
of
You know
course.
that
Yeah, no,
peacetime. Like
I
again,
agree
you know what happens in the
100%.
comic. You know
I
what I'm
agree
saying? After the
100%.
time
Yeah.
jump. So
Yeah.
only then is when innovation and necessity for
Of course,
that
you
can
need
happen,
that.
right?
You need time to be able to do
But
this.
you know what though? To be honest with you, I wouldn't put it past the show to do that. I wouldn't put it
was
past them
yeah.
to
No, it
do
was
to
just
go in that direction. And have somebody be working. I mean, hell, they ended up having a blacksmith. In the comic and stuff, and like
they're rebuilding. They're trying to rebuild
right.
civilization somewhat similar to what we had as far as peace and people working together and things
Dude,
like
you're not
that.
caught
So
up in the comic, right?
no.
They just
And
started a new
obviously,
arc, man, and it's like it's 2 issues into a new
so
arc, and it's
you're
like
up. You're up, right? Well, I
yeah.
know it's like the New World Order thing or something like that, but listen, that's super far from where we are on the show. Will they change what's going on in the show? I believe it's going to be 1,000% different.
How about this? Let me ask you this.
Let's see how long the show goes, because it's going to need to go several more seasons to even get anywhere close to what the comic is up to.
Look, we're gonna be ending this real soon, but let me ask you this. This is episode 9. We have what?
Yeah.
8
Seven more.
Seven more.
Yeah.
So, what do you think in terms of, do you think they're going to pull it out? I'm not talking specifics. I don't want specifics, but the first 3, possibly 4 episodes of season 8 for me were really good, and they just started to go downhill. Do you think that they can pull it back and end as strong as they did starting?
I think they can. I think they started off great with this episode. Let's see. If we start getting the dragging like we've seen in the past, it's gonna turn a lot of people off again.
Things got to happen, right? Like this, All Out War needs to end this season. I'm sorry, I think All Out War needs to end this season.
I think it will.
End
I
it.
think
Just
it will.
be done. Be done. We've had 2 seasons of Negan now. The preceding Negan and then Negan, and we're done.
That kind of gets to, I mean, we can, we might as well just talk about it. I mean, I talked to you before we started recording about that final scene where we see Rick laying against the tree, and there's so many theories, so many ideas of what's going on. He has the bloody hand. It seems like he has some kind of wound on the side there. A lot of people are saying that that's after the All Out War battle
with Negan,
with Negan and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be the last episode. I think we'll go all the way to episode 16, and then that'll be it with the Negan stuff and the All Out War arc. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be in store. I wrote down a couple things about what I'm hoping to, and I want to ask you yourself what you're looking forward to see, but the next couple episodes, I'm not saying 4 or 5 down the road, but I'm really interested in seeing with what Carl writes to each person and how they react to that. I'm looking forward.
That's just going to be cut in between a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, but I just think it's interesting. You know what I mean? I want to see, because he wrote to a bunch of people.
I want to see the legacy. It's his legacy at this point.
And I always like that kind of corny, sappy stuff to a degree, because I'm just interested in how the characters are going to react to him. I want to see how Maggie. Yes, everybody's going to the hilltop. I want to see how everybody's going to react to.
Yeah, they don't know. None of those people know, man.
Exactly.
Oh, God, they don't even know what happened to Alexandria. Like
they don't, dude. And they don't. Yeah, they don't know what happened to Carl. So I'm interested to see what happens to Maggie.
That's crazy.
And that kind of stuff. And last, with the kingdom, I'm kind of interested in how they get a restart, because obviously there's no reason for them to run anymore because they destroyed Gavin and his crew. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm hoping to see. I agree with you. I hope that it's nothing dragged on, but I definitely think we're going to get the all-out war ending by the end of the season.
It just needs to end.
It does.
It's got to be done.
It does. It definitely does.
We can't drag it out anymore.
No, we can't drag it out anymore. So let's hope, without dragging our video on too long, I know that we're going quite a bit now, but let me just ask you something really quick. Without thinking about what goes on and what's going on in the comic book, does Negan die? Do they kill Negan instead of what happens, without spoiling too much in the comic?
No, I don't think so.
So
I don't think so. I think they're going to keep him around. Listen. You have to have something. Yeah. They're not using the zombies anymore. They're not using walkers as a threat anymore. Yeah. Not really.
Well, hopefully that changes.
So you got to have when whether they follow the next comic arc or not, they got to have some type of, I don't want to say villain, but they have to have some type of antagonistic thing. And keeping Negan around, whether it's going to be locked in a jail cell or part of the community, I don't know. You don't know. I don't know what they're going to do on the show. They've proven that we can't really gauge, based on what we know in the past, what they're going to do. So I'm just at this point, no, they'd be stupid to kill Negan, because then what do you got? You know what I mean? What do you got? It'd be better to have Rick and Negan try to work things out and be.
There would be a cool dynamic with them.
Once Negan's defeated, look, he's a smart man, and I think what's going to happen is once he sees that he has been defeated, he's going to concede because he knows to survive. All of his people mean nothing to him except him surviving. That's it.
Sure.
So, and it's very similar to the comic. That's the character in the comic as well, but he's going to survive. So he's going to do what he has to do. Well, he's not dumb. He's going to see that he's defeated. Wow, you did it. You did it. You beat me. You beat me. And that's it. And now he's going to play to the mercy of the court, and that's what's going to happen.
Right.
So, all right, look, we have gone a little longer than we normally have been going, but you know what? It's a mid-season. It's fine. Exactly. We had a lot of things going on. I myself am looking forward to it. I hope it just stays good. I hope they don't drag anything out anymore. End this arc, get it done. Let's move forward. And that's it. So
definitely.
If you guys haven't checked out the Walking Dead, the season 1 rewatch react that we did we did the 6 episodes of season 1. Go check those out. Rewatch those with us. It was fun. And we plan on doing more of that, like getting to season 2, whatever. But
absolutely,
we've got a busy rest of this year coming up with this. When this is done, we've got Fear, and then Badlands is going to be coming back. Yes. Westworld is coming back. It's going to be quite busy. So so it'll be fun. So all right. Having said all that. Guys, I hope I gotta mention it. Hope you like our new setup, our new graphics.
Yeah, what do you think?
Mike and I, tweaked it a bit. We think it's a little cleaner. It's I don't know. We just like it. It's cool. We like it. It's fun. It's something different. We've been staring at the same stuff. Yeah, I stare at the screen when I edit, and when we're it's just like. So it's so different because you don't see what I see. In fact, you can't even see me.
Yes, and I can't stand that.
And it's a program we're using for video, man. It's like
I understand.
We'll find it eventually. But I'm staring at the screen that everyone else sees. So I'm watching it as it's being recorded, as everyone else is just watching it like normal on YouTube. So I get to see the whole thing. So for me, it's nice to see some different graphics,
Yeah, instead of just the big red and
instead
blue.
Instead of the big, right. Anyway, having said all of that, Mikey, where can they reach us if they want to get
if they want to get the scoop? Of course, you can check us out at Third Person Pod. You're watching us now on YouTube, so write in the comments below all about what we just discussed in this premiere episode. We want to know what you guys thought about this episode and about the vision and about the kingdom stuff. Just write whatever you desire. Any questions you have for us, right below. But of course, check us out, Third Person Pod, on Instagram and on Facebook. We've been posting some cool stuff on Instagram lately. Some cool images. And don't forget to have a listen to us on iTunes if you desire.
That's right. So that's going to do it. Once again, thank you very much for all the support. We love you guys. We've got a whole bunch of regulars that comes and checks out all our stuff, and you guys have conversations with us and each other, and that's awesome. And I want to thank you. You guys are great. And that's it. We'll see you on the next Walking Dead video. So until then, be good.